What's going on, everybody? This is Stubbs from Retro Handhelds, and today we're going to take a look at the Retroid Pocket Flip. Now, I've already shown a quick review of what the Ergo grip looks like, but I wanted to actually do a full look at the device. I have yet to really set it up with all my favorite emulators, my favorite front ends. I've only skimmed the surface, and I want to look at that all with you live here on camera, and we'll kind of see what we think, play some of our favorite games, and how are we doing tonight? Been doing a series of these videos lately. It's been kind of fun. Hey everybody in the chat. Grecio, Cadence. Great to see you. Great to see you here. All right. Well, so the Retro Tech Dad and I were on the stream yesterday, and we took GameSir stickers and put them on our flips to give them to fill in some of the space, because my number one thing when I got this device was, oh my gosh, what do we do with all this extra space? Other devices, and we'll just do the comparisons right at the gate here, other devices also have space. So the GPD XD, this is the original model, it also was red. They had a red variant, so it's similar to the Flip, although this is more of a glossy, kind of like the Sport Red on the Flip. But they handled it well by just putting their logo here. They could have still put something there, but I feel like this doesn't have as much space. It's more of a glossy sheen, but this is a beautiful clamshell and still really my favorite to this day. The Flip might edge it out. These were notorious for having some tight hinges, and so you'd have to fix them, get hinge replacements, or get the upgraded model, which would be the XD Plus, and then the revision of the XD Plus. They finally kind of got that right. But I'm a fan of the old one. It has better performance on Sega Saturn in particular. Another device, this is not a clamshell of course, but the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, and this is using the RP2's Watermelon Fantastic Shell. So this is, well, not 100% the same as I previously thought. I mean, it's so close and hard to tell. Maybe it is, but it does look a shade darker, doesn't it? And let everyone in the comments there, let me know if you have a Flip, which one did you pick out? Cadence, I saw you have the 16-bit. I have that one on the way. I'm looking forward to trying that out. I'm going to probably send that to either to H or Raven to do a review on. That should be fun. Brian, yeah, still rocking your RG350. That's a solid handheld still. You can't really deny that. And yeah, J-Lash, the RP2 Plus, because it's a shade darker, I feel like works better with the watermelon aesthetic. But I don't have any issues with this one so far. But if I were to be picky, yes, I do prefer the shell color on the RP2 Plus. Let's turn these bad boys on and take a closer look. Now, this came from Go Retroid. I bought it myself with my own money. I don't think we're going to be doing review units for this line. Maybe next time. But I picked up a few for the team here so we could try them out. And if you're interested, Retroid was kind enough to generate some coupon codes for us. So non-affiliate link in the description for now. And there's a couple $10 off coupon codes. I think we limit to 100 orders. And there's also $5 off for the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So if you're interested in that, that is just the same T618 that's in the Retroid Pocket Flip here, just in a horizontal form factor. So this showed up from Go Retroid. Took a while for our order to come here. Maybe, God, I don't know. It seemed like almost 2 months total, but I think it was a little bit less than that. It came with this Ergo grip because I threw it in my order, and it came with this awesome case. It's awesome for two reasons. One, Retroid does make pretty decent cases, but as you can see, they must have a different case that's form-fitted to this because it's loose. But the reason why this one's awesome is because it fits really well with the Ergo grip. Now, it's 100% tight, compact, and it has bump outs on the bottom for the grip. So this is a nice all-in-one package. If I'm going to rock this without the grip, which in the end, I did prefer it generally without the grip. The grip's definitely comfortable and good for longer play sessions on role-playing games and slower-paced games. Anytime I got into the action FPS gaming, racing games, I tended to use the joysticks, and when you're using the joysticks, it's just more comfortable. it's just more comfortable to be using the... Yeah, I want transparent green as well, Ban. I really, really do. Yeah, anyways, for me, it's more comfortable to not use the grip because there is some space here. And so if you're not using the grip and you're using these joysticks, it feels better to have your thumbs closer in. If you have the grip on, I should just pull it out, huh? If you have the grip on, it is comfy, but it's tough to reach those joysticks all of a sudden. See, look at that. And I have short thumbs, so maybe it's just me, but... I like these sliders. Yeah, Lee, they're really, really nice. I want the Frog Edition as well. You know, if people have voted... So I had a YouTube poll today say, what should I do in the live stream? Should I do the flip? Should I do the thumb beach? What are we doing? And everyone voted. You guys said, hey, let's do the flip today. I said, great. I will be happily show off the flip. I haven't really set it up yet. More or less a live review. I don't know. I've had it for a while, but I just haven't used anything except for Android gaming mainly. I've really been enjoying Android gaming. Horizon Chase on this has been a lot of fun, so I'm excited to set it up with emulators and everything. All right, back to turning it on. And again, yeah, these are just for my hands. I thought it was better without the grip. Check out the video. I think it's linked in the description. I did a quick review on that. These are handhelds that both ship with Android, if you're new to this. And there's a new build of LineageOS, actually, for the 2 Plus that Turtle just released. And Seraph has said that Lineage / and/or Garlic OS is going to be coming to the Flip as well, which is nuts. And that is really, really cool. Oh, Retro Dodo broke the hinge, huh? Oh no. Huh. That's nice, it still functions. Okay, for the sliders, yeah. Knack, these are clicky. It's a very slight click here, listen to this. Yeah, it's a very subtle click. But it feels good. You know what feels great, though, is L1 and R1. These are some of the best L1 and R1s I have come across. And it's funny because I wasn't the biggest fan of the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus for my use case. I didn't like the ergonomics of it as much, or the RP3 for the same reasoning. But this has just nailed it in so many factors here. L2 and R2 feel really nice. The hinge, I think the hinge is high quality and it feels good. It doesn't get in the way when I'm hitting L1 and R1, although you'll see I kind of have to claw it a little bit to not touch the top screen, and which is fine. Like, I'm used to that. I think a lot of us are kind of used to that by now with controllers in general. And L2 and R2 are really well done. This is a nice analog feeling. You know, back here you got let's do that quick. Man, that's a good vent smell. I like that active cooling in here. There's a fan in there. We got rear firing speakers. That must be the intake for the fan. Wait. Yeah, intake for the fan, output for the fan. Speaker. Headphone jack, power button, volume up and down. M1, M2. I'm not really using the M1 and M2 so much so far. Nice to have a little HDMI, micro HDMI out, USB-C up top for charging. Now this is cool. You haven't seen this in a while, but it has this pop out for the micro SD card. And I like how they designed that. It's not going to fall out if your kids are playing with it. It's nice and secure in there. And I threw a 512 Samsung Evo card in there. A little bit older Evo card. Now, if you're a fan, this is still my favorite, the original XD. This also is Android-based, and Seraph as well, the Wizard has Lineage ROMs for this. So I highly recommend going to Black Seraph's Patreon for the best custom firmware. Ugh. Him and Turtle as a pair, that's going to be nuts. Enough of my lollygagging. Yeah, this is currently my favorite game on here. Turn up the volume a bit. GPD versus the RP Flip. This is the real comparison. That's fun. Yeah, I love the GPD XD. Like, that was my intro into this scene. And I still play it to this day, you know? It's just if I need a quick handheld to go on a trip, I know it's tried and true. It just works. Also has a 5-inch screen. Retro Tech Dad in the house, in the chat, causing trouble, causing ruckus. I like it. I'm here for it. You know, Retro Tech Dad and I were on the live stream doing the duos last night, and this is another 3DS clamshell type thing, if you haven't seen one. So it has real dual screens, which these do not. They try to imitate the look, but they did not go all in and do the dual screens. Whereas the Duo, while a little wonky, because you have to buy a separate controller for it, this thing is awesome. So good for 3DS and DS. It is ridiculously good. The screens and everything can't even compare to any of these other Android handhelds. This is leagues above. It's just not an all-in-one, so it does feel the slightest bit jank at the end of the day. I could bop out to that Chase Horizon soundtrack all day. Better turn off my background music while this is going. Because I want to jam, man. I want to jam out. This game is like 50% soundtrack, 100% awesome. Oh no, this is my XD that isn't set up yet either. Perfect. It comes so by default. This, have you ever seen the stock OS on the XD? This is ridiculous. This is Happy Chick. Happy Chick is it's an app that gets ROMs off the internet, basically. It's pretty trash, this entire interface that they included. I mean, this is back in 2015 from GPD, so they were just starting out in this sector. They had released the Q9 by that point. They had released, I think there was one other they had put out. And the software is just, you can tell it's like 10 years old. So load Lineage on this, or clean ROM, or anything else. But the screen on this is nice, but it does not compare to the awesome iPhone style screen on here that has those deep blacks, that nice saturation. This definitely one-ups the XD. We're gonna have to actually increase the brightness a little bit to kind of compare apples to apples. Did I just make a red pun? You know, it's so good. This is still so good, I don't even care. Very clicky L1, R1, clicky R2, L2. This one had L3 and R3 mapped as separate buttons, so you actually had them here and you had them there. The sticks are Vita style, and you could probably swap Vita sticks in there, but there's no need. These are pretty nice. There's some mods you can do to make the face buttons a little bit better, because by default the travel is pretty dang short, and the D-pad the same thing. Unfortunately, the D-pad is probably the weaker point on here. Would recommend swapping it out for one of the upgrades. There used to be a guy called Psyops who would sell these upgrades, and he'd mod it for you. I bought him out of many of his parts, so if you're looking to upgrade one of these, I might still have a few in storage. So if you have a project, I probably won't do the work. I just get so nervous about the hinge when I open it up. But probably have a few lying around. Slystrol's another guy to hit up. He's awesome for this stuff. And the RGH and GPD community. So yeah. This is nice, but it's old now. This is very old. It's 32-bit. And it'll run, I think, up to Android 8. Maybe Seraph got a little higher than that, but still a solid handheld. It plays up to a little bit of Dreamcast and Saturn and PS1. It'll do N64, no issue. It struggles. It starts to struggle with higher-end PSP and definitely with GameCube and PS2. Those are both tough systems to get going anywhere near full speed. I think that the OG XD has a rock chip, I think 3288, and then the XD Plus moved to a different chipset. I believe it had. I better pull the specs up before I talk out of my butt. Yeah, John, the candy apple on this XD is just gorgeous. It's not fair. It's not fair putting this next to the Flip because the look of this, I think the reds are just so much better looking than the Flip, which looks more like a toy. But the screen wins on here. Generally, the buttons all around win on here as well. Oh, thanks, Jlash. The XD Plus has has Android 11, and then it has actually the MediaTek. Right, it has a MediaTek 8176 for a chipset, so that'll actually run a little bit better. It'll run some PS2, which is nice. It is faster. It is slower in Saturn, which is weird, and it has that Power VR CPU, which is why it's tough for Saturn to run on it, because apparently for devs that's just a tough chip. Green protagonist. Do you have any more overhead light? You know what? Yes. I'm glad you said something. Let's get a little bit better light. I never want to drown out the screen, but I do want it to be. This is a Sony ZV-1F camera, and it gets a little funky when you give it too much light. But I appreciate the suggestion there. Let's see. I can also get some more daylight. As my curtain falls down. Okay. Sorry for the free show there. That was, I apologize. I'll have to cut that out later. My entire curtain fell down when I went to adjust it to get a little more daylight. Just the entire thing fell on me, and it was a mess. So this is what's fun about being live. I can just have oopsies and disasters, and it's fine. We'll move on from this. This Jlash, this is yeah, I thought maybe I could match the handhelds a bit. It's a little bit orange, but my wife got it for me for my birthday. You okay, kid? Elliot, come here, buddy. Want to come say hi? My 1.5-year-old Elliot wants to be on the stream again. Never mind, he's good. Okay, so we good with overhead light? We want to continue with this. This really is going to be a little less formal today and a bit more kind of hang out and set up, just for funsies. Yeah, I kept the Gamester sticker on, Rob. All right, let's actually dive into it. Quit the race. This is the only game I've been playing for the last week. At least on this thing, which hasn't been a lot because life, adulting. Ugh. But I have set up at least initially some of my my apps here. This is what I like to do. I like to choose a background that matches. Oh. You want to hang out with us? Elliot wants to hang out with us. So I like to choose, get the mic there. I like to choose a background that matches the aesthetic. I think the red hues in the background, they really match the case, which is nice. Especially when I play this at night. And that's my main use case, is I like to play games at night. So I like to have it as dim as possible for the background. Definitely for the screen. I always enjoy when there's an eye comfort option, which this one does have. Now, for the fan, you can have this in balanced performance or smart mode. I really, really like smart mode. I want the fan to kick on as soon as it starts getting hot because it does get warm down here because this is a T618 handheld. And if you want to know specs on this, if we haven't gone through them before, yeah, it is a Unisoc Tiger 618 running at 2 gigahertz with the Mali G52. GPU, DRAM, 4 gigabytes, blah, 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 blah. Storage, 128 gigs of eMMC storage, which is cool. And we have that micro SD up to 2 terabytes if we wanted, but I think there's 512 in there right now. We have the touchscreen at 4.7 inches, which is smaller actually than the GPD. This is 5.5, I believe. So you do have a little more compact thing here. And this puts it to sleep when you close it, and it's still very pocketable, and it just feels nice in the hand, which I love. Has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which Retroid is famous for having batteries that just last forever. Man, I remember on the 2 Plus, especially, this thing would last for days and days of playing like games of the month in our Discord, and just pretty much whatever I threw at it. The battery was so good. And the same has been true for the Flip so far. I just don't even think about charging it very much, which is nice. Question, can we get full speed on the 30 FPS? GameCube titles at native res? Maybe. You know, I only have North American ROMs on here, so we will try and see what we can do. You do want to try to use 50 hertz PAL ROMs when you can, if you want to squeeze extra performance. But I'm a purist for the North American options if we can get them. Turn up the brightness a little bit here. Yep. Hey Elliot, what's your favorite Retroid Pocket color? Do you like red the best?
Yeah.
Do you like this one the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. See, he's right. Red is the best. Actually, I like green the most this year, but I'm okay with the red here. Now, time to set up some stuff. So let's pick a front end. Now, my favorites are Daijisho, Reset Collection, which is our good buddy Hav. And if you join our Patreon at the $5 tier or above, you get a free copy of Reset Collection from the Play Store. So that one's $5 normally. Daijisho is free, so I give a lot of points to Daijisho for being free, and it's really well made. It takes a little more setup time than Reset. So Reset is what I recommend to people if they just want to jump in and play. But realized I'm probably biased towards Reset. I'm a big fan of it. And Daijisho I give a lot of bonus points to for integrating retro achievements. Hav, why? Can we integrate retro achievements on the next release, please? From dad to dad. I need my Chivos. I need my fix. Also, we have the Retroid Launcher, which, not bad, Retroid. When this first started out on the 2 Plus, it was okay. There weren't a lot of systems yet, But as they iterated to the RP3, to the RP3 Plus, and now to the Flip, this has really been fleshed out more. And I'm proud of the Retroid team for what they've been doing on this. I think there's still a ways to go, and there's a lot of modern front-end features I'd love to see in here, such as more box art options, more search options, more like ways to navigate your library. Are you being silly? Here's your car. Yeah, blue car. And that's a great blue car. Where's your red car to match? See, we don't match, son. That's the problem here. I know. Oh, you do have a red car. You fooled me. You do have a red car. Yeah, will a Flip Plus be here in a month? I probably would guess we might get one this year. Retroid has said they're not doing a Plus for the Flip model, though. This is the Retroid 3.5, is what it says in the kernel and everything, so I think they're going to move on to the RP4. I'm not going to set up the Retroid launcher, but I will take you through Reset Collection and Daijisho. Okay, so let's add a new system. This is my favorite part of setting up a handheld. I love scraping, man. I love scraping myself some box art and just knowing, like, oh, there's my collection, there's my virtual collection, you know, without having to physically have all these games, which I legally physically have all these games, but you don't, when you're setting up your real game library, it takes so much space in your house, and they're all being in the handheld like this with this digital carousel of titles is so cool. Just to this day, to me, emulation and front ends are absolute magic. I never get tired of this stuff. You must add a system. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, okay. Wrong button. What do we got in here? We don't need to set up everything, but I think 3DS is fair. I feel like Citra MMJ might be the best, or Citra Enhanced. Let me know in chat. You guys are having too much fun in chat. I can't even keep up. Citra MMJ is better. Thanks, Joe. Let's go with Citra MMJ. Take your word for it there. The car doesn't go on the microphone, kid. Now, since this is running, I believe Android 12. No, this is running Android 11 as well. So you have the scope storage to deal with, to contend with. Now with Reset Collection, it's pretty quick and simple. I usually do low resolution images because they're still high res. They still look high res even though it says low resolution, and it's faster. I try to limit the downloads to maybe just one, and by default, Reset Collection will do 3D box art. If you only download one art type, it defaults to 3D first. If you download two, it's going to give you a 3D box art, and the second file is going to be the 2D. And then afterwards, you can go into the menu and flip between 2D and 3D, much like Launchbox, which is really cool. It doesn't currently use the back box art unless you're starting... Hav is talking about adding theme support, or rather making more themes, and which might make use of the back box art. But right now, you only need front. You could do, and then screenshots it uses as background stuff. You don't need fan art. You don't need banners. You don't need game, cart, or disc. So we're going to say scrape and add. Zoom in a bit. And once again, for those new to the stream, this is not made by GameSir. This is a sticker that I put on for my GameSir X2 just to fill in the space because it's shiny and fun. Retroid, don't hate me. I know you're not sponsored by GameSir. And here you go. So boom. What you have here, and I think I need to lower the brightness again. Even more so. I think right there. So what you have here is nice scraped 3D box art. In fact, I think the entire library is correct. Yeah, I don't have to fix any of those. Boom, they're just done. And then you have screenshots which are being used for the background. And here's another cool thing. Check this out. If you wait a second, it's going to go to YouTube and autoplay a video. It does video snaps on the fly. You don't have to take up hard drive space or storage space with your video snaps. It just goes to YouTube, looks up a relevant video, and displays it, and about 90% of the time it does it well, or it picks a video that I think is worthy of being representative of the game. And usually if it doesn't, it tends to be a game that I don't really want to play anyways, or it's a super obscure title. But yeah, about 90% it nails it. You can supply your own videos, you can supply your own snap files, you can do screen scraper, make sure they match the game name and all that good stuff. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the screenshots are nice, and that's a nice thing about Reset Collection. Okay, so let's add another system. What should we do next? Let's do N64. And my favorite one is to go with a core on this, the RetroArch core, so I can do retro achievements. Usually I prefer parallel. It just works. But parallel with Reset Collection, unfortunately, and maybe the bug is fixed by now, but the last time I used this, it was having an issue passing the controls through the emulator to the core. And so we'll see. There's a few workarounds for that, but we will try it out here. Of course, the quickest fix is just pick a different core, but I'm stubborn. I'm used to my parallel. I know how it works. And scope storage, you got to give it permission. What's nice is that it remembers your settings, so when you pick your first system, it just remembers what you want for the next ones from then on out. Boom. Scraping is ridiculously fast. It uses the Launchbox scraper. The Launchbox API. And here's another cool thing. Here's the other thing. All right, I'll turn off my background music. You hear the sweet jams on here? The front end music? These are all songs made by an RH staff member, Silver Dusk. She is a digital, like dark wave, the kind of music you hear on like Far Cry. What is it? Oh, what was that neon Far Cry game? I just think of the neon 80s when I play it. Anyways, it's like cyberpunk style music, and I love it. It's perfectly matched to this. I'm glad that Hav kind of worked those songs in. Yeah, she has awesome stuff. Check it out. I also love that it does these fun facts about emulation. In 2010, the U.S. Air Force, they used a bunch of PS3s to build supercomputers. Yeah, it's just like little things you might not know. Now, I've started to memorize all these because I've set this up so many times. I was telling Hav, I'm like, man, I gotta feed you some more game facts. I sent him a list of like 100 more facts not that long ago. I wonder if we'll get those in here soon. I love the fun facts. It's so dang nerdy. Blood Dragon, that's what it was. Yeah, Far Cry Blood Dragon. It makes me feel like I'm in Far Cry Blood Dragon. Yeah, Lee, for sure. Yeah, enjoy it. It's one I definitely, even if I'm shilling it or not shilling it, I just love it regardless. Okay, so now we have N64. Now, I don't love that it did different box art for a few of these. Like, look at that. It shows a PAL box art for, or I think that's PAL, for 007. Let's turn down the screen brightness again. So we need a little more crispness there. I don't love that it's not doing these consistently, and so I'm going to say, you know what, don't give me, if you can't make them all 3D and all the same, then just let's do 2D so they're uniform. So I'm going to say, go in here, I'm going to say switch all box art to 2D, continue, and just like that. We got to quit out, I think, for that one to work. Love that boot intro too. Yeah, so this is in the Google Play Store if you want to pick it up. Just search Reset, just type Reset Collection. I always think it's a great fit for Retroid products, though. Some people complain, though, like they don't want all this extra space up top. The logo takes up so much space, which is fair, and so have made this menu here so you can go in here to change stuff. It also has this randomizer, so you can say play random game, boom. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you want Reset Collection, if you join our Patreon, the $5 Patreon tier or above, we give you a free copy of Reset Collection. So you'll get a Google Play Store code, which is neat. I picked something that doesn't work, though. Let's try and load RetroArch. Oh, I have to... Want to go watch Elmo? Okay. What's Elmo doing? Oh, have fun. Yeah, you want to make sure to run your emulators at least once so they load up. I don't think I've opened 64-bit RetroArch yet. Yeah, my son Elliot loves toying and tinkering with these. He's been playing with the Retro Chicken lately. That's been a hit. Okay, so we'll get N64 going in a second. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you. I like showing off the nerdy aspects of this front end real quick. If you press and hold on the dice, it will vibrate real quick, and then it brings up this filter. So you could filter and randomize your games. A lot of us don't know what we want to play, especially me. And if you don't have a program like Game of the Month or someone telling you or suggesting a game to you, then you could use a randomizer. But why just randomize everything when you can scope it? So you can say, I want to scope it to just N64 games. I feel like playing a 3DS game. I don't know which. It'll go through. You can say, I want to only pick a game from maybe 1970 through 75. Or just you pick the release year. You can do it by genre. I feel like playing an adventure game, but I don't know what system I want to play it for. You can set it like that. Or you can just say a keyword. For instance, and this is my fault, but it'll default to searching for Barbie games because inside Discord server jokes. You can say I want to play Mega Man games, so I'm just typing Mega. Next, save, close, and now when I click the dice, it's going to only randomize through Mega Man games or words or games with the word Mega in it. Barbie games are awesome. Yeah, Barbie Explorer, I mean that's a banger for PS1. Not really, but it's trying to be Crash Bandicoot mixed with Tomb Raider, and I applaud its efforts. Again, that's not going to work yet because we haven't set up RetroArch. And no, I don't have a screen protector on this yet. I think I ordered one and I didn't get one in my order, so I have to reach out to those folks at Retroid so I don't have to wipe fingerprints off this thing as much. Because by default, it It's not as glossy, or it's not as smooth as a screen protector. And the same feature for randomizing games. You can hold and search for games in the same way with the same filters, which is really cool. And beyond that, you also can use this as you can set this up as your Android launcher on boot, so it'll boot straight into Reset Collection. That's just an option here. So if you go into settings, you can say change default Android launcher, and you can pick, and now Arc browser as well has this option, and a few of the others, I think Dig has this as an option, but it's nice to have that, and Daijisho. You can change your screen orientation, you can select boot videos or background music, and I'm actually going to say no background music just because it tends to distract me, but it is fun music to have, that is for sure. You can select what boot videos you want. You want to say, take me to the 80s or take me to the 90s. You can turn on or off the auto video snaps. You can loop GIFs. As well as change, just your default box art settings. It's pretty easy, set it and forget it. And then once you want to duplicate the setup to your other Android devices, just say backup my data and then restore your data on the other device. And for the most part, it's going to work pretty dang flawlessly. I always like less setup time for this stuff. Since I spend so much time on video actually talking about these devices, I don't want to spend a lot of time having to tinker with everything. All right, let's open up our emulators for the first time. So on here, I've loaded on RetroArch 32-bit, and I just left everything on the defaults when I set up the device from scratch. It'll prompt you during the setup wizard what built-in apps you want to use, and I just said all. There's like 30 of them, and I deleted some of them, but I kept my favorites. Nice setup process. This does not come with ROMs by default either, so you need to provide your own. I always prefer that, legally speaking. Check out Redream. I generally go towards the Flycast core in RetroArch before going to standalone, even for Redream, but there's use cases depending on the game where I'll still use standalone. Yaba Sanshiro 2 is great that they include. This is one I recommend buying so you can get rid of ads and whatnot and get cloud saves, which is pretty cool. One thing I haven't figured out, and I need to look, is what do they default the home button to on this release? I always want to press M1 and M2 for home. I think it's this one on the left. Yeah, so this is a T618. Wii's going to be a little rough. It just is. And the fan doesn't help the performance any. So if you thought having a fan was going to boost it, unfortunately, not really. Ugh. Okay. So we have a build of Dolphin on here. Looks like this is probably MMJ. This is an MMJR, I don't think. 5.0. The fan is pretty awful sounding. You want to hear what the fan sounds like? Here it goes. I mean, it sounds like a little RC airplane taking off in your backyard. So if you have fond memories of remote control airplanes, kind of takes you back to that time. Put it next to your ear, like you're kind of like you have a seashell and you want to hear the ocean. Put your flip to your head, and you can hear a remote controlled plane from 1972. Real screechy. I think it's almost like a middle C for the note. It's almost like a musical note that it's playing. Square wave? I don't know. That's retro, right? Either way, I might leave it on just because this thing gets warm. But that's why you turn it to smart. It'll use it. It'll turn on when you need it. That is a noise, all right. That is a noise. I'm sure you could like do your own fans. Hey, buddy. You not sure? You wanna watch a different one? Okay. I'm gonna grab the remote. Okay. Gumby, what did you miss? Welcome to the stream. I don't know, man. We've been talking about reset collections, setting up front ends. It's been fun. Actually, just kidding. The front end part I like. The rest of this, setting up the emulators, that's like nails on the chalkboard for me. I wish they just came set up. That's one thing. And that's why some people recommend using the Retroid Launcher as their front end, because the Retroid Launcher, for the most part, just works out of the box. So maybe that is something we want to do to save time. Probably not going to use Mupen too much. Definitely Aether is the only way you want to go for PS2. Oh man, it's a bummer that this is not being actively developed anymore, at least by the original dev. I'm sure we're going to get, hopefully, something. Somebody's going to... let's do those fast, unsafe defaults. And we're going to stretch. We stretching. Whether OpenGL or Vulkan. I feel like OpenGL is going to be better on the T618. Someone correct me. Somebody correct me. And let's start with native. And we got to import our BIOS. So now we're actually going to get into the SD card, make sure that works. Named it ROMs appropriately. PCSX2. BIOS. Now you have a couple different BIOSes you could load for this. I tend to do the 39001.bin, which is a US BIOS. And we're going to have to give it scope storage access to our ROMs, which should have a couple PS2 on here. Yep, I do. Ba-boom, boom, bomb. Is the sticker confusing people? I'll just pull it off. Oh no, it is on there actually. It is on there. Oops. Well, now I have a Game Surf Flip. Sweet. I always like to test PS2 emulation with Tony Hawk's American Wasteland because it runs awful on pretty much everything. So we'll immediately see. We'll get that fan kicking on, in other words. I definitely want to turn off the buttons there. Do. There's a couple of hacks we can kind of do in here in the settings to squeeze a little bit more performance out, but let's see what we do out of the gate. These buttons here are so tiny, I can't even see what they say. I might look on camera there. I'm assuming start and select, right? I can't even tell what they're trying to tell me. Oh, and we have to map controls on this too. Look at that. We really are setting up from scratch. Although let's try an auto mapping. See how far we can get with that. Yeah, do we want larger face buttons on this? I'm not really sure about that. I mean, yeah, maybe like Ambernic size and not like 353 PS size, but or what's a good example of bigger buttons? Like the Data Frog buttons, those are nice and big buttons. Is that what you want, Dad? Is that what you want, Rob? I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that right now. I love this just very generic punk skateboarder it defaults you to. Who is that? It's just a random person. Okay, gotta be Tony Hawk every time. Oh, okay, this looks pretty dim on camera. Sorry about that, guys. Boost that up a little bit. Let's boost that up a lot a bit. Fan kicked on immediately. You know what? Dang, this is running great off the bat. I'm actually surprised for this chipset. I was hoping to stump it, but we might actually do some 2x action on this. Man, this is comfy. Should we try it with the Ergo grip? My son stole the Ergo grip. Elliot, where'd my Ergo grip go? I know, but the people want to see it. Well, I want to see it. It's not here. You're 1.5 years old. You're not even responding to me because you can't talk yet. Okay, J-Lash. Those are fighting words. Now, is Tony overrated as a playable character, or are you saying Tony Hawk the game series is overrated? I need to know. This affects our friendship. This is running great. Let's get the frame counter on. Yeah. Frame limit must be under general. It's actually been a little while since I've set up an Android handheld all the way. Show FPS and show speed. And let's get the volume up to see if we're getting audio crackling. Okay, it's not running 100%. It's running close to 100%, but it's not running 100%. But it fooled me, though. It fooled me. I didn't think it was going to be full speed. Okay, but we're dipping in and out of 100%. What's funny, on a lot of these games, the menus are way slower than the actual gameplay. I always wondered why that is. Oh, games are great. Okay, great. Okay, J-Lash, I was about to have to write a banner for you, for people to accept your shortcomings, but Thank you for clarifying. Games are good. Tony as a character, overrated. Fair. I think Donatello is the best character on Tony Hawk 5 anyways. I love that they have some DLC stuff, even though the game itself was pretty bad. Yeah, we're getting some dips. This definitely, we're not taking this to 2x at all. Really appreciate everybody taking the time to join me this evening and hang out. What do you want to play next? We're going to kind of meander through stuff. Should we do some more PS2 while we're at it? I think that's only fair. I don't have a lot of PS2 on here. Jak and Daxter is gonna tank performance. We already know that. We don't even need to do that one. Tekken Tag Tournament is one I like to try as well. It's not too demanding, but it's nice to test the D-pad on it. And this thing is getting freaking warm on the back. It is getting hot. So I don't think Smart Fan is enough. I think Retroid was smart to put the fan in here, because unfortunately, even though it sounds like a jet engine, I think we're going to have to use the fan. Wow. Wow. Not hot, but just very uncomfortably warm. What are we doing? You doing any of the Game of the Months? You know what? That's a great idea. We have a side channel where we only play Game of the Month stuff pretty much, so I wasn't really going to be playing that much tonight, but I was wondering if it's worthwhile for people to watch me do maybe one of our Games of the Month. But Rapid and Zoo kind of go over those already, so I suppose if I was doing it, maybe it would be a live stream, and we'd be more interactive with the audience here, kind of play it together. You can see how just awful I am at mini games. There's a reason why I don't show too much gameplay in my videos, because I'm not great. Well, okay, I'm decent at games, but for some reason when the camera's on, it's like I'm trying to think about all the aspects of doing the live stream, sort of performing as a live streamer and managing the tech stuff, and then showing the handheld, and then, you know, being good at the game. That's like last priority for me. So I'd have to switch that mindset. I'd have to be trash with everything else and just focus on playing the game as best that I could. I would need like maybe a live stream moderator to join me. This is running okay. Yeah, unfortunately, and it's not a Retroid Flip problem. It's the dang T618 CPU that gets hot. All the devices are affected, and yeah, the 405M especially. I mean, that's a metal handshell. Can you imagine? I mean, that just goes through the metal to your hands, which is not great. I still love that device, though. I just might not always play a lot of PS2 or GameCube on it. This with the fan on, though, definitely if you just leave it on, it helps. I mean, it's cooling it off already. So if you can get over how loud and annoying it is, cool. Tekken is not running great. I think there's a few things we can do, though, to get a little bit more juice out of it. So by default, we're doing underclocks. We could do even a more extreme underclock. We're not necessarily making it faster, but we're definitely giving it gives you the perception that it might be faster. If we go the opposite way and say no underclocking, that definitely doesn't help. And this is a tough game to begin with. So let's do a maximum underclock along with a 60% cycle rate underclock. Yeah, you could do some funky tricks like turn on fast forward. Maybe not 200% fast forward, but enough. And that also can help, but at that point I'd say give up on the game on this system and play it on maybe the Steam Deck or something that can do it. Because it's not, for me, it's just, I mean, this isn't fun right now. This is not a playable game. So let's just move on. Another great thing to do, so we don't waste our time going through game after game, is referencing, and I got to put this in the video later in the description, the spreadsheet. There's a community spreadsheet that the folks over at the Retroid subreddit built based off of our T618 spreadsheet, and they expanded on it and focused it in on the Flip and the 3 Plus, and it's great. There's a lot of contributors, and you can see what the best settings are for each game, and I do recommend that. Right, and the ROG Alley is coming out tomorrow. That's right. If you're looking to pre-order that one, there's some cool stuff coming. I got to talk to a guy today who has one in hand and asked some questions, but I can't say anything because they're so hush-hush until tomorrow. But watch Russ's video. Russ will have a review out tomorrow. That's the one I would stay tuned for. That's the best comment of the night. John, Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Turns on the Retroid Flip fan. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Meh. Elliot, you like that sound? Meh. Oh my god. I'm getting real sick and tired of the T618 chipset. I don't want to see it in any more handhelds. It's so, like, we know what this does. We know which games are, it's not fun because we know generally which games are going to work, which ones aren't going to work. Let's move on from PS2 for a moment. It's not a challenge. There's other chipsets to explore. It's exciting. Even the Data Frog is super exciting because it's like, oh, what can we push out of a $20 device? Dad, I spent a solid minute turning the fan on and off just to see how bad it was. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, man. Okay, Duckstation. This is the freaking best standalone emulator for PlayStation 1. My God, it's so good. Retro achievement integration. Just so you can upscale to wazoo. It's so freaking nice. It's just blah, blah, blah. I love it. Can't get enough of it. I don't even know what to say right now. It's just freaking fantastic. Ugh. I love it when emulation just is done right. Let's try to do auto mapping again. I love these sliders, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I think these sliders are just grade A. Sweet. They're sliders done right. You know, Retroid's no stranger to sliders. Remember the 2 and the 2 Plus? Remember this? Retro Handhelds remembers. Yeah. That was okay. That wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, and they didn't click. So finally, they gave us a slider done right that actually clicks. And it is one of the most unique joysticks I've ever used in a good way. It's almost addicting or like satisfying to use it. Like, I want to play games that have joystick controls just so I can use these sliders on it. It's that kind of satisfying feeling. Yeah, and some people were disappointed by the transparency again on the watermelon, because they showed it darker, much more like the 2 Plus in their pics. Unfortunately, the final color is lighter, which is a little more toy-ish looking, not nearly as vibrant as something as the 2 Plus or the GPD XD. But that's how it goes sometimes. Now, we're going to be able to upscale PS1 on this chipset. No issue at all. We need to import our BIOS, of course. BIOS. Now, for the PS1 BIOS, it really, depending on where you live in the world and what you were used to growing up, you could pick a couple different BIOSes. I generally go, again, for the US BIOS. Standard used to be we would do the 1001, the original BIOS file. That kind of fell out of favor. People are doing this PSP on PSX BIOS file, which apparently is like the most lean version of the BIOS, which there is chatter around that is somehow faster, that makes the emulation faster. I don't fully buy into that idea. I don't think there's been enough testing and real world proof of that. And if somebody has proof of that, please do share it with everybody. Because I would love to improve PS1, especially on some low-end systems like the Powkitty V90, which is getting garlic just like this, which is crazy, and it happened to go on sale today, and then it sold out in 5 minutes or something. Nah, I know, it's crazy. Gotta have our garlics. All right, enough lollygagging around. The 5501 BIOS is the one I tend to go with these days. And we're going to add a game directory. Thank you to whatever kind soul is logged in as RH right now, helping me with the live chat. Aish, I'm figuring that's you. Thanks, man. Multitasking is tough, but I really like doing this stuff live more. I've noticed over time. It's just like, it's just done. There's no editing. I just blab on. And I blab on my other videos too, and I cut out my ums, and I make them all prim and proper as best I can. Who has time for that these days? I have 3 kids. I'm just going to share and hang out with you guys, and then we'll cut the stream, and I'll edit in YouTube Editor later if I want to cut out the time, maybe when the curtain fell on my head. You know, that's embarrassing. That's just, but this is my life. What do you want me to say? Let's do some Ape Escape. Let's get nuts with Ape Escape right now. You guys ready? You ready to full use of these sliders? Hey, Aish. Now, Aish is a gentleman who's been with us for a while now. He does our social media. He makes videos. He does our handheld of the month program, as well as just moonlighting as Pedro Pascal and also Diego Luna. So he is Andor. He is he's actually the stunt double for Andor on the show. Can you believe that? He won't tell anyone that. And he'll never admit to it. And I keep telling people this, and he's like, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. Why would you say that? And I don't have any proof of this. I just have this hunch that he is, because he goes away for hours at a time, and I don't know what he's doing. So I'm pretty sure he's stunt double. I'm pretty sure he's driving to a movie set to film Andor, and that he's doing stunts. So no one can prove me wrong on this. Aish would have to live stream his entire life to prove me wrong. And like, he doesn't have time for that. So here we are. We're always going to wonder if he was a stunt double for Diego Luna on Andor. Yeah, see, Dad, see? There was. Remember when the Logitech G Cloud was featured in an episode of Andor, just slyly, like they used it like it was a prop? Like, that was just a funky accident. No, I don't think so. I think Aish was like working on his review of it, filming it on the side, and they're like, hey, Aish, all right, it's your turn, buddy. And he comes a running, and he does his flips, and he jumps off the little oops, and he goes, and he does flips because he can do flips, and I'm sure he can do crazy, cool stunts like Jackie Chan stuff, and kicking ass, Diego Luna's over there like just eating an apple or eating a salad, and he's like, yeah, man, do my stunts. Good job. You know? And pretty soon they fired Diego because he's just eating salads all day long. Salad has gone to his head, and he's gone crazy with salad powers, asking for salads, chef salads, all kinds of freaking salads. And then they bring Aish in for the role, and he gets it, and nobody ever notices the difference. Nobody ever knows. They replaced Diego Luna 2 seasons ago, and it's been Aish, and he's not sharing that money, you know? He's not buying handhelds, so he's just like investing it maybe in stocks and bonds, and he's creating a empire, and I'm afraid of where we're going. Yeah, like the vegan X from Scott Pilgrim. Exactly. I know. Yeah, I'm going off. Okay, I need to calm down. Let me take a drink of water. We'll continue the live stream in a second. Please stand by for technical hydrations. Aish, where's that Andor money, man? I thought you were hooking this up with INEO Geeks. You know, one of every color for the whole team. I'm not upset that we weren't, like, obviously invest your money how you want, but a bunch of INEO Geeks, because we're INEO Geeks, and we're your friends, so share with us or not. Like, I don't care. It's nice that you still have time to mod while you're filming the show Andor for the Disney Network. All right, Ape Escape. It wants DualShock mode. That makes sense. I bet Diego Luna is somebody who always plays with DualShock mode on no matter what he's doing. He just always has a vibrating motor near him at all times. He just needs that to feel safe. Okay, vibrate on press, obviously. Device vibration, obviously. Okay. Turn off the, It should be, you know, one complaint about this emulator, it should be smart enough to turn off these virtual buttons if it senses that you have a controller, or if you're using a controller, right? Is that too much to ask? Is this... Am I talking crazies? And it's in a different place on this than it is in Aether SX2. Some people will claim that they were made by different devs, but absolutely not. That's the same dev. Come on. DualShock. Auto hide touchscreen controller. Look at that. Hey, it was an option in the menu. Silly me. And you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm going to stretch. But I'm not just going to stretch like a dirty boy. All right, I'm going to at least turn on the widescreen patch. So I'm just not going to stretch on you. I'm not going to stretch my pixels. I'm going to do an actual widescreen patch, which is appropriate. Okay. We're going to have to exit the game and relaunch it. Well, now that we've done widescreen, why... No, here's the real problem. All right, 16 by 9. Yes! Elliot, we've stretched it! By God, son, we've done it! Appropriately so. This is... Aish, don't get smart with me. Stop being Diego Luna. Where's our INEO Geeks at? Where's our ROG allies at? I don't know what I'm talking about the geek. I don't even like the INEO Geek. But I'll take the ROG ally. I'll take like 5, 10 of those. You know, if they make different SKUs. Do you have the... Since you're a famous actor, do you have the power to demand that Asus makes a green ROG Ally. If they make a green ROG Ally, obviously I have to buy it. Don't giggle at me, son. Not now. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, good. The movement's not working. This is bullshit. That's one. YouTube, that's one. Just one. I don't swear that much. Don't demonetize this just yet. Oh, toggle analog mode. Here we go. Look at this. Did that? No. What am I doing wrong here? Duh. Oh, that's for the touchscreen. Okay, I don't care about that. It's DualShock. I have... Maybe it's just not mapped. Maybe the auto mapping failed. I'm going to assume the auto mapping failed. Down, left, right, select. Oh, that is select to confirm, and that is start. It's good to know that we can confirm that. Yeah, are you working on the printer? Yeah. Oh, what are you printing? What are you printing? Yeah. You know, ink costs, or toner costs money. Well, I mean, it's impressive. You're 1.5 years old. Most printer repair technicians are at least 5 or 6 before they get certified. Look at that clickable L3R3. Love it. Oh, okay, so there was no bindings. That's why. Now we're good, aren't we? Man, this thing's getting hot. My hands are sweating. Look at this. At least this color is nice and matte. The shell is matte feeling, so it's not leaving noticeable smudges and fingerprints, which I can't say the same for the black colorway or probably the indigo. I've had enough of these Retroids over time. I've had, I think, all the SKUs at least once in the last 3 years to know I like to go with the most matte. I'm really bad at Ape Escape. To go with the most matte colorway. Oh no, he died. He passed out. Let's go catch some monkeys. I can't say that. Let's... Hey, they're apes. They're not monkeys. Never compare the two. And what are these things? Are they like cats? These angry cats? Goombas? Okay, you gotta hit him with the sword first. The vibration feels great on this, by the way. Hey, cubing Buzz. Yeah, we'll do Barbie games. I don't know if I have Barbie games on here, though. Might have to, like, go to a legally gray area website to get them. I actually don't keep them in my collection much anymore because I feel like the joke was played out in the last 2 years. But I get surprised sometimes how much people still want to see the Barbie. Wow. And see, this is why I don't think I would be successful as an actual game streamer, because I don't play the games so much as I complain about everything that upsets me, because I'm an aging gamer. Blah. Come on. Why can't you catch these guys? You just turn them into coins. Alright, so I actually am on a super low resolution. I don't know why I've been playing this long in this resolution. So let's bump it up. So let's take it from 1x all the way up to... What's the screen on this go to by default? Why don't they list it on their website? I think it's a 720p screen is what I want to say, but someone correct me. That's the other nice thing about live streaming this stuff is that I don't know everything, or I forget stuff fast, rather. And so having people help me a bit and remind me, thank you, Aish, 720p is a godsend for my advanced age. So there's no point in enhancing it below or above 720p unless you want to, you know, do some sort of wacky downsampling wizardry. But this is going to run no problem, this chipset, at 720p. Not even concerned for a second. You know, I'm feeling really cocky about that. I'm not even going to turn on the frame counter. I just feel that good about it. I will turn on the frame counter for stats nerds, though. Here's the other thing about Diego Luna. Like, how did Andor become such a popular character? You know, Rogue One, while I thought it was an awesome movie, I thought there were other characters in there that were equally as good. Like that funny robot that was voiced by the guy from Firefly. Alan Tudyk? I can't remember what his name was. Is there a jump button? Oh, there is. Okay. So why'd they pick Andor? Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's an interesting character, but I would love to hear the backstory of that robot. And why did they make BB-8? BB-8 was supposed to be the Jar Jar Binks of the modern era, and everyone would go crazy buying merchandise for BB-8, and it did happen. It's true. They made a lot of money. Kathleen Kennedy was just rolling around in BB-8 money all day long in her bathtub. But why'd they do it? You know, why'd they let that happen? It cheapened the franchise. Donnie Yen? Oh, was I wrong? Oh, yeah. The blind guy. Yeah. He's cool. Oh, Kyle, mapping M1 and M2. I can see you. I can watch you. I'm watching you at night. I think, you know. M1 and M2. We could try to map those. What do we want to map them to? I've heard it suggested that maybe we map them to some hotkeys. I watched Russ's video the other day. I thought his review was pretty sweet on this thing. It was nice to see him join Team Clamshell after complaining to him for so many years now about that. I was like, Clamshells. He's like, no. And then this comes out and he's like, now I'm a clam boy. But now he's like throwing shade on our Surface Duo. I don't think he really is, but I'll assume he is. I assume he's giggling behind the scenes like, why are they doing that? That's such a niche use case. And Russ, fake Russ fight that I'm in right now. Let's have a showdown. I challenge you. Come on the show. Let's have a fun friend fight. Let's play some games together, man. I don't know. Let's do a stream together. It's been a while. Let's map some M1 and M2 though. Back to the point. Okay, hotkeys. Okay, let's do pause menu, M1. Great, that worked. Fast forward, M2. That worked. Does it work? Yes, it does. Hey, look at that. Wouldn't you know it? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Map it to the menu button. There you go. So, yep, and we did that. So, yeah, M1 is the menu button. M2 is fast forward. Did I beat the level? I wasn't even watching. Enough of this nonsense. Get out of here. Here's the other thing, guys. Is you have this thing. What do they call it? A floating icon. You can turn this off if you don't want it. It doesn't bug me, but it used to on the RP2 Plus because I think it was a smaller screen. But you have this, and you have quick options when you're playing Android games to key map, do your touchscreen mapping stuff. You can monitor temperatures, the CPU, the memory, which is really nice. You can control the brightness right there. It actually has a built-in FPS, floating FPS counter, which is neat. Does this device not have a home key, though? Is it mapped to the power button, by chance? No, that's, of course, standby, which is... makes sense. There's a couple flaws on here. I'm not going to give this an A+++. Like, where's the home key? Android needs a home key. Every Android device needs a home key. Even on the 351 Droid OS, we put in a home key option, even if the device doesn't have it, right? There were still some hotkeys we put together. Maybe it's a hotkey combination. Maybe I'll have to pull out the dang instruction booklet. Gosh dang it. Pull out the handy-dandy Retroid card. Ah! What's happening? I've started Alunda. Oh, this is some... You hear the soundtrack for Alunda? What in the world? There's no way this needs to be this good. Some of those speakers. Backfiring. Don't even care right now. You can only do 4 seconds before YouTube copyright strikes you. So, let's turn the music down. Yeah, Alunda had no right to be this good. No right. From the soundtrack, to the artwork, to the gameplay, to the story. It had no right. I'm upset at how good this is. I'm really getting teary-eyed thinking how much effort they put into this and why it's not talked about more. Let's fast forward because we're playing a role-playing game now. We don't need to read the story. Remember when you used to read the story in role-playing games when you were a teenager? And now you're an adult and there's just you don't have time for that at all. So you just fast forward because like you'll figure it out, right? You just want to grind your character, get your dopamine hit for the night, play for 10 minutes here and there, put it down, watch some Netflix, have some Cheetos, have a little bit of cuddle time with a loved one or a pet, and go to sleep and then work your job. Jams get drowned out by the fan whir. I know. Well, this runs fantastic at 3x, no issue. Not that we were ever concerned, right? Last PS1 game. Obviously, it's got to be Vagrant Story, because that's the game of the month. If you like playing games, if you like winning merch and sweet swag and points and... oh, thank you. My child has handed me a RG353 PS, which Wicked Gamer the other day came on here and said, you know what, this is the 353 BS. Ah. Excuse me. You're being silly. Elliot, are you being a stinker? Don't put that on your head. Retro handhelds do not double as hats. I've said this time and again. They don't double as hats. They barely function as handhelds most of the time. Yeah. I like this thing too, by the way. I recommend it. This is the best 353 device I've used so far, I would have to say. Only because of the price point. And it's comfy, and I like the transparent case, and it has definitely grown on me. Well, why are you going through my USB cables now? Get out of there. No. I don't need that right now. What? Aren't kids supposed to want to play with kid stuff? I don't know. Don't. Why are you laughing at me? Kids. I recommend them. I'm in fear of them. I have to say this. Tylenol buttons, yeah. We got to do Vagrant Story though, because that's the game of the month in our Discord server. So if you like playing games, getting some cool stuff, we vote on 3 games a month, pre-96, 96 to 99, and modern, which is 2000 and above. And there's a lot of voting and shenanigans and kerfuffles, and we eventually come to a consensus and then play the games. We talk about it, we fight about it, we embrace each other, we love, we make up, we leave the server in a huff. We come back later. It's like all part of this cult subculture of tortured souls who just want to play retro games with friends, but also, you know, get in friend fights and then get points and become the game of the month champion, and then you become an eternal champion once you've gotten enough points and you play the system and you beat the games for a year in a row, for 12 months in a row. Then you become the eternal champion. You get the special Discord role. Then you can claim your bag. You can get free merch. You can get reset collection if you join the Patreon. You can. There's a secret marketplace. Who's talking to me? You can buy a retro handhelds hat, ban. Where? Show me this hat. Miu Mini Flip. What in the world? Oh, the 355. Yeah. The Miu Mini Flip. Oh yeah, I'll definitely be getting that. I mean, that's like a V90, my favorite sized clamshell device, probably with a much better screen. Now that's enough out of you, Diego Luna. Ooh. Billy Bard, yeah, having strong opinions about games is fun because nothing really matters. That is so true. It is so much fun to debate this stuff with people. That is the heart. That is the core. We're all, you know, at the end of the day, I think we're all friends on there, and it's all in good fun. But it's just nice to get in these like monthly tribal wars, and I watch it, and I don't have as much time to participate in it as I once did. But I still try to check in, and it's so much fun reading through your guys' conversations. I can't. And then I usually remember to vote 5 minutes before voting ends, or sometimes 5 minutes after voting ends, and I'm like, dang, I missed my chance. But I always tend to skew the numbers right at the last second, and then at least one person will call me out about that, and that's fine. That was my bad. But hey, this month we got some good ones, right? I actually tried it after the voting ended, so I did not get my votes in. I would have voted for Vagrant Story, though. That's no problem. Would have done... I think I wanted Doom to win. Vagrant Story is an awesome game. It is a early... I don't want to say Souls-like. It's an inventory management game at its core. You get to build these cool weapons, and it has this like very unique grid battle system. That's not so much a tactical RPG as it is almost it's just kind of its own thing, man. We got camera issues though. That's what we got here. Okay, so when you're initiating a battle in this game, let's see, I think circle, yeah, okay, so it has this grid that comes up, right? Zoom in, enhance, and then you pick your enemy, you swing for the body. I just love that. It's so simple and satisfying. Vagrant Story is a role-playing game from Squaresoft, released in the late 90s, and if you haven't played it, I do yourself a favor and pick up a copy. I want to fight more bats. Every battle in this game feels good. except for some of those later fights, right? But leveling up your armor and building swords and... God, it's just so good. All right. This isn't a Game of the Month stream, though. We do want to move on to other stuff. I think we opened up Citra yet. Citra Enhanced. So why aren't people using more Citra Enhanced? MMJ just comes out ahead on this chipset? Is that the consensus? I kind of flip-flop between depending on the game, though. Okay, so PPSSPP, 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 PPSSPP. We got to pick ourselves a game folder. Do we have a PPSSPP folder? No, we don't. So we're going to have to create one, and we're going to call it PPSSPP. That's that nice PPSSPP. There you go. Allow. Okay. Sounds good. Very good. Bye-bye. Nope. Don't know why I went there. Nope. Nope. I don't think so. RetroArch 64-bit is the last one we need to run. And then we can go back to the front end and finish setting up our launchers and stuff. We went in a very roundabout way to get back to what we were doing about an hour and 15 minutes ago. And we all got to know a little bit more about Diego Luna. So it's win-win. So we showed off Reset Collection. Let's take a look at Daijisho. So Daijisho is a little different. So you want to know what platforms you're going to be using right out the gate. So let's just say, for sake of time, that we just want to do Dreamcast and, I don't know, Game Boy Advance. It imports the platforms. Then you want to go in and tell it, and you can customize everything about this, which is really neat if you got the time for it. And I definitely don't. But you want to point it at your library, so you add a path. Same thing as reset. Navigate to your ROMs. Go to, what was I on, Dreamcast? Use this folder. And then you do a sync when you're ready. And what's cool, here's the cool thing about Daijisho, is that you can sync multiple at the same time. So while that's running, I don't have to wait for it to finish. I can go in, set a path for another system, sync it. They're both doing their thing. It is able to figure its life out and multitask. Where in the world did you get that? Why are you eating this? This is my Shargeek, USB-C to Lightning cable. Look at all these chew marks now. Kids. It's just me and the buddy. It's just me and the little guy tonight. Wife's flying home from Vegas as we speak. Out partying with coworkers, you know. No. She told her to have an awesome time. I got to go to Vegas this year for CES and have fun there. So I'm like, go to Vegas, go to the work conference, have fun. I got this. My mother-in-law helped me out and watched the little guy with me. But now we're hanging out. So we got to wrap this live stream up soon and go make some dinner. Yeah, I think so. Are you about done with Elmo? You got Cocomelon there? Yeah, you want to generate an affiliate link for Cocomelon? You want to do a review of Cocomelon? All right. Elliot says, "Buy Cocomelon. He's very cute. I think you get him at Target." All right, buddy. Here you go. Okay, we have some games now. So here's my thing that I don't love about Daijisho, is that it is, a little simplistic in the way it displays the games. So for me, again, I really want 3D box art, and I think there is some themes or ability or way to do it, but it's not simple and fast and easy. So it defaults to 2D, and I accept that. I accept its shortcomings because it just does everything really, really well. And the other complaint I have is that the screenshots it uses, the box art it uses, is not super consistent. Like, look at Air Force Delta. That's the Japanese front cover. This one, it's not pulling from a repo that has consistent, like, look at this. And I just get nitpicky about this stuff, and that's why I just go back to reset, because it's using different styles of box art by default, and that drives me crazy. It's like, why even use a front end then? You know, if the box art's going to be all over the place, which maybe it's trying to emulate that real collection experience. Collectors these days have the time and the money maybe to make a unified looking collection. But back when we were kids, you got what you got, and you'd have this, like, you'd have green label PS1 games, greatest hits games, mixed in with your regular games. You'd have tall box games. You'd have, you know, used games, new games, stickers from GameStop, stickers from different EB games and all that. And so this maybe emulates that. And if we're going that route, Daijisho, just take it a step further. Why not add in stickers from like EB games onto this box art? Like, let's just take it that full step. So that's my whole thing about that. Let's see how Dreamcast shook out. Jonathan Earl, do you have a free version or paid version of Daijisho? Daijisho is free, not paid, right? And yeah, we wish we could sort it by genre. That'd be really nice. Is there a paid version? I mean, you can support the guy, right? But is there an actual... And you can use this as a launcher, launch all your Android games, which is really nice. Log into retro achievements. Love that. But I don't think there's a pro version out that I've heard of. Embrace the jank, exactly. Yeah, so Reset Collection is $5. Free if you join our Patreon, once again, shilling that again. But Daijisho is free, so it has a lot of points going for it in that department. And Launchbox is another good option, but that's $25 for the Android version. Pricey, pricey. Now, even... Oh, yeah, we haven't done Satisfying Snap. Oh, bummer. Bummer, man. Zoo. The V90 is so good. This is like a... that's like barely a thud. Listen to this. Listen to that fan. Bleh. Good, bleh. No. Now listen to the GPD XD. Clap them cheeks. Yeah, that's good. It's still more of a thud, but kind of sounds like two park pigeons romantically invested. Yeah, nothing really beats the satisfying snap of the POW KD V90. The only saving grace we might get is the MIU Flip, the MIU 355. Can we get a satisfying snap? That's... I don't have a V90 with me right now, but I bought one from the sale earlier today, which was an awesome price. But I can't wait to have it back in my hands. It's just, you know, that first 50% closing the hinge, and it kind of gives that click, that kind of click, and then that finally the thud, the snap, and it all is one fluid motion, which is why it's such an honored tradition when somebody has a new child, for us as retro handhelds being the ambassadors of children's first gaming experience, to mail a V90 to the proud parents. So we just did that today. Someone's like, I'm having a baby this week. And I'm like, great, what's your address? I'm going to send you a V90. And they're on sale, so why not? So if you're having a child, you're going to need a V90 in the birth room. That needs to be their first retro handheld. They need to hear that satisfying the snap, because they need to know for clamshells what to judge against right out the gate. That needs to be their first memory. on this earth. They came to this earth to be the POW children that the world needs, the POW children that the world deserve. And you will not be disappointed this time in them. They will be an army of POW Kitty V90 children. They will be scary. They will be riding on bears into battle. You think I'm messing around on the stream? That is all I think about, is just planning for the bear children POW Kitty army that we're building in the future. That's all leading to something. I've said too much. I know I've said too much. I know. My son actually is super smart, and he talks to me telepathically, and he's telling me I need to be quiet because you've all heard too much. So sorry. Aphex Twin. No. Aphex Twin I've heard in a long time. No, that was actually legit cool but creepy music back in the day. All right, open it back up. Thanks, Zoo, for sending me down that rabbit hole. That was getting even more wild in this than we do in the podcast. I'm done with Daijisho, man. That box art bums me out. That bums me out how it's scraping. I know I could customize it and load, I don't have time for that. I guess we're playing Dreamcast now. Don't even talk to me about puppies, Michael. My neighbors just had 12 Labrador chocolate lab bloodhound puppy offspring hybrids, and they're so cute. They're like 6 weeks old. I brought my son over there, and we were petting the puppies, and they're like, "You can have one." I was like, "Excuse me?" They're like, "Do you want a puppy? You're our neighbors. Love to give you a puppy, no charge." And I'm like, "Oh no. I was like, Mother's Day is coming up. One of our dogs is super old. You're playing the mental gymnastics, and Elliot's just, he's loving the puppies. Like, he's just adoring on one particular run to the litter. This puppy has an extra toe, and it's cute, and nobody wants it, and he's just loving on it and like petting it and hugging it, and just, I'm like, no, we already have 2 dogs. I'm gonna be the one scooping the poopies and cleaning after it and feeding. Like, they're cute now, but as is tradition. That's how we do it, right? As parents, we look out for our kids, and they just love something so much that you just can't help but spoil them a little bit. And yes, puppies, I would wish puppies would count, but we're not rolling around in POW Kitty money over here. So I think at the current frequency of birth rates in our server, we get 1, maybe 2 babies that are announced in the server a year. That's an affordable price range that RH can afford to spoil people with a congratulatory possible e-waste gift. But puppies, I don't think I could do that. Oh my god, how serendipitous. We launched 101 Dalmatians. I just now noticed that. That's so cute. This is affecting my psychology. My brain's like, you can have that puppy right now. You go over next door. They said you can have it right now. I'm like, no. We got to talk. We got to think about this. We need to be away from the puppy. I need to watch a bunch of weird videos on freak dog diseases that kill humans, and that dog slobber thing that was happening where people were getting dog slobber in their mouth or kissing their dog, and then they would just die. That's one reason not to get a dog. So that's my best argument so far to not get this puppy. You could also have a Tamagotchi, yes, or a virtual pet. I would recommend that over a real puppy as well. Look, oh, why is this guy trying to catch me? That's not nice. Why is he so tall? I'm just trying to be... This is running 60 FPS. This is great. Is there a run button? Oh, there's a roll button. This is actually a pretty good game. I've never played this before, at least not for Dreamcast. I'm a fan. We also added on to do the shillings, the shills right now. We also added a live stream tip. If you're enjoying this live stream and you want me to keep going and or all that, there's like a YouTube super fan or super. There's some sort of button you press that it's like a tip. And there's also a thing in the description that says send a tip, and that goes to our PayPal, I guess. I haven't actually used it before. I haven't tried it yet myself. I need to try it. What are you tipping for? To hear me talk about Diego Luna and puppies. So, but it is definitely good, appreciated. This game's actually pretty fun. This is well done. Sometimes these Disney games just hit it just right. Ooh. Oh, there's a cat. We don't like cats, right? Get out of here, cat. I'm a dog. I'm gonna... Just kidding. Cats and dogs can be the best of friends. A5. Oh, we're talking about the A5 Mini. How's that A500 Mini auction going? Let's find out. I don't actually know. That ended, I think. Do I owe money now? Jesus. I guess I'll share my screen. Let's take a hard detour. All right. eBay, which is Jelanimal's legal name. Okay, it says I've shipped something. What have I shipped? I bought a camera, another Sony ZV-F1, so I can have multicam, in fancy looking definition. I'm currently winning the A500 Mini that I didn't want to buy, and it's all your faults. It's Retro Tech Dad's fault, mainly. What's happening on here? Jeez, stop hurting my puppy. Yeah, apparently I'm winning this at $35. The max bid, I think, is somewhere around 80, and these go new for $130, so it's not... I went a little... It was a little impulsive, but people are like, you got to try Amiga, you got to get into Amiga, I was complaining about Amiga on one of our streams the other day, and they're like, you got to try Amiga. I'm like, great, okay, I'll try it out. I thought this had a real keyboard. I'm like, this is cool. I have a CRT monitor that matches the color tone, but no, it's not. It's fake. So I think I want the Commodore 64 Maxi. That's what I want. But I don't even have nostalgia for Commodore products. I didn't grow up on them or anything. So why, if I win this, I will definitely do a video. We will talk about it. We'll have fun with it. Maybe I'll be a convert. Maybe I'll just have some sort of religious experience playing it. And all I'm going to do for the rest of my adult life is become the guy who plays on the Amiga range of devices. And maybe that's kind of what my destiny is in life. But we're not there yet. For right now, I'm not even the Android guy anymore. I am the Garlic OS man. I'm the Garlic man. I love Garlic. It's the best software front end, any experience I've ever had in my life, which makes me pick up my 35XX more so than any other handheld, is the fact that Garlic is such a good UI. And Serif is bringing it to, apparently to the Flip, although I think there might be some misconstrued stuff going on. I think he meant Lineage is coming to Flip, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is Garlic. I hope it's Garlic. But I know it's coming to the V90. I know it's coming to a range of devices. No, no, no. That's right. That's right. Sorry, sorry. It's coming to the 405M, which is the T618. So yes. So by virtue of that, we should see it on the Flip. Great, great. Because garlic, I'm the garlic man. That's just all I have to say. Hand me garlic. I will eat garlic. I will sleep on piles of garlic. I love it that much. And Seraph, I loved his LineageOS builds and his Android builds, but garlic is next level stuff. So good. I hope we get garlic on the A500 Mini from Amiga. I hope we have a garlic OS for Amiga. Rant over. I haven't won the Amiga yet. I hope I don't win it, but also thank you. And if I do win it, then I'll pretend that I meant to win it. So thank you for that. You know what? I've always wanted to fight off vampires, but I haven't had a lot except for the whatever's in my attic. We'll talk about that another time, by the way. There's somebody who's been staying with me in my attic for way too long, and I don't know if he's human at this point. Last I heard, he went through the little door, and I really don't want to talk about that right now. That is not something that I'm comfortable dealing with psychologically yet. We're coming up on 2 hours on this stream. I feel like we need to sort of get some final thoughts out. We just don't have time for everything. There's too much to do on this device. I mean, Android games, emulation up to PS2, GameCube, Wii, some Nintendo Switch, which it's a bummer about Skyline. I'm sure you all know about that by now. The Skyline has ceased development because Nintendo gonna be Nintendo and come after all of us. You know, there's a reason why I don't show off too many Mario games these days. It's just, I mean, we're a small YouTube channel still, comparatively, and we don't want to be taken out of the game early like this, so sorry, I love Mario games, but I'm not going to show off a whole lot of them because it's a big risk as a YouTuber these days, and that's not fun. You don't want to get on Nintendo's radar. Having said all that, let's play a Mario game. Because we're rebels, and we fight the good fight. Metrics be damned, damn you. Damn you. How do you get out of here? At one point I called myself an expert on Android, but now I've been using garlic for so long that I forgot everything else. Nothing else really matters. I'm getting to the point where I'm just feeling just done setting up even Reset Collection right now. Like, let's load the Retroid launcher and it's all going to be configured and working, right? All right, we have Moonlight and we have Steam Link. I think streaming is not too bad on here, as well as Game Pass. I'm not going to test it today. It's something I used on the 3 Plus and it worked well. We really have the same specs going on in here, so I really don't want to run the stream too much longer. Horizon Chase, again, that's been a lot of fun. Oceanhorn has been great. Real Racing is cool because it uses the gyroscope feature, so you can actually, you know, twist the controller, and it has rumble, gyroscope, and handy dandy fancy things. Streaming will be solid because of the analog triggers. Yes, Dad. That's right, Rob. Rob is my legal birth father. All right, let's end things off here with the Flip, with the Retroid launcher, because I'm getting hangry. I guess we go into systems. I haven't done this one in a while. You know what's cool about the Retroid front end is that you can set your nickname. So I can set it to, you know, I guess my name, Stubbs. You can show a background or not. Cool. Oh no, did I lose my... Oh, okay, we're good. Let's just set up one. Let's just do GBA. The scraper on here, last I checked, was not great. But let's see if they've improved it. ROMs? Add a game path? Hey. Oh. Here's the other thing. This is annoying me on another device I was using recently. It's hard to get that. You have to press it just right. Okay, let's do a scan. Let's see how well we match. Let's check it out. Change my name to the Retro Grandpa. Oh, come on, man. I'm only 38. Sure, my hands feel like they're 85, but I don't have that many gray hairs yet. I mean, they're starting, but I got a fresh haircut today to hide that. Oh, Tech Dad, you're the grandpa? You're younger than me? Or who? How old are you? How old am I? I can't remember. Life is tough. You good, kid? Elliot? I haven't heard from my son in a while, and that's concerning. Okay, watching. 100% entranced by Elmo right now. I just showed him Elmo 2 days ago for the first time, and he's been obsessed now. He wants to see all the songs. He wants to see everything that Elmo has done. He's binge watching Elmo, which we try not to give too much screen time because of his age. You know, he has a growing mind, but I'll let him get away with a little extra Elmo today. The scraper on here is not as fast as you're going to see on Daijisho or Reset Collection. That is one thing, is that it's taking longer. It's processing each file sequentially, and it's just a little bit slower. But it's 60% done, so I mean, not the end of the world. Overall, I think this is a good device. I think it's at the right price point. I mean, you're looking at $164 for the watermelon variant, plus shipping. Okay, good. I think even to this day, I still like my GPD XD more. Oh god, listen to the horrible hinge on this one I have though. Listen to that. It sounds like my creaky attic door about to kill somebody. Ugh, it's awful. But I still like this overall as a clamshell device. There's some X factor about it, and some of that is a little bit my own nostalgia, but it just feels good in the hands. It doesn't get so hot. It plays most of the same systems, and it's a pretty old system. You know, it's what, 7-8 years old now. It's crazy. And the 2 Plus, and this is rocking the T310 processor. This runs almost what the T618 does. It's pretty close. It's a little bit smaller. It maybe isn't as ergonomic because you have a little bit harsher angles, but it is 4:3, and that's nice. The screen is not as nice as the Flip, obviously, but it is overall one of the devices I've used a ton. And this particular unit is going to be a giveaway, by the way. This particular one will be given away very shortly. More to come. Yeah, that's right. More to come. Yeah, he's excited. The attic man is excited. XD Plus. Yeah. I have an XD Plus. They just made the black SKU in the XD Plus. I have that in my other room, so I won't bring it out right now, but I have that. And what's cool with the XD Plus is the first revision had kind of a glossy shell, but the second revision had this really nice matte shell coating to it, and that is my favorite as far as feeling goes out of the XD line. We'll show that off next time. Raw 39 and single, dude. That just means you have more time for games. That's freaking awesome. I wouldn't say that's a sad thing at all. Oh, we have more guys here. 42 and single. Again, you got more time to actually dig into this stuff and play. Like, I never really have time to enjoy the games too often, it seems like, you know. I spend more time tinkering, talking to you guys about the stuff, but actually sitting down to play, I get a little time each week, and I cherish that time, but I don't get much of it, and that's definitely the trade-off. All right, so look at this here. Unfortunately, it's scraping. God, it missed a lot. And you're going to have to manually go in. And you can go in here and set box art for each game. But it's going to take a while. So on the one hand, it's nice that I'm betting that I can just launch a game like Gremlins. Stripe versus Gizmo. And we'll say auto, pick the core automatically, and boom, look at that, it works. But the presentation side with the box art, not loving it. I game a lot, you're right. Yes! Yeah, that's fun. That is fun. That is, you know, like you are accomplishing these virtual adventures, which that reality is as real as you want to make it. That could be a reality. And I like to embrace that, you know. I remember when I could really get into a game for weeks at a time, so engross myself in it. You know, you're part of the lore, you're part of the story, you're the main character, and that's you're living this little lifetime inside of the game, and then you stop playing it, and you got so deep that it's like waking up from a dream or something. And you go back to this life, and then you get to be an avatar and a character in another game. I think that's freaking beautiful, man. Don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever say that that's sad. That is anything but sad. Freaking awesome. All right, let's play some Gremlins. Kyle, 41 single. You know what? We should have a single, like a singles club or something, where we can play the longer games. And like that's the focus. I think that we have that in the Discord. It's called the RPG of the Quarter Quest and the RPG Shill Crew. And they play the longest role-playing games, like Persona and, you know, 60-hour plus games. Which it's like, I want to. I always aspire to, but I just, in reality, never have the time. And that's just, you know, one of the trade-offs, again. So GBA looks beautiful on the screen, by the way. Wow. I haven't played GBA on the screen in a while. A little bit bright. We're over 2 hours now. I have this thing about trying to keep streams underneath an hour and a half if possible. I gotta give that up. There's just no way. There's too much to talk about. Yeah, GBA is well. Okay, so now the thing cools down. It's not getting as warm. I like that. I'm about out of steam, though. So, okay, we set up 3 front ends. Which was your favorite? Do you like Reset Collection, Daijisho, or the built-in stock Retroid Launcher? I'm going to close this up. Let's get our sea of red devices here. I want to know in the comments, which is your favorite front end? Which is your favorite device of these 3? We need opinions. And I want to know, and I'll put a poll out, I want to know which device I should do in my next live stream. I'm going to be doing these a little more often. The next one, I might try to do one tomorrow if I can get away with it. If we end up getting that puppy, though, you won't see me for a while. I'll be taking care of a puppy. So there's some votes against the puppy idea. And don't forget about the dog slobber deaths. So, but here you have it. I like this the best. This is a classic. This is growing on me. I won't say it's perfect. I won't say it's a complete recommend buy. There's obviously a few flaws. That fan, I'm not loving the sound that it makes. But more so than not, Retroid got things right on this. And I'm just darn proud of the strides that they've made over the years. They went from the RP1, which is a super uncomfortable device without a touchscreen, not the best experience. I was highly disappointed in that model. Up to the RP2, which looked amazing on paper, but in reality the buttons were so short and clicky, and it wasn't, again, no touchscreen, wasn't great. The 2 Plus iterated so well on it. 3 was a back step in my opinion. The 3 Plus, very well done. Love the colorway options. Love what you can do with it. Just the community around it is amazing. But I think the Flip is their best product to date. There is no denying that they have just taken some really cool ideas here and implemented them. Yeah, pick one up in our description if you're into it. There are still codes. They only have 100 uses though, so use them up, and I'll have to take them out once someone lets me know that they've been used up. But use them, $10 off, and there's a $5 off for the RP3 Plus if you prefer this in a non-clamshell form factor. Any other final questions? Anyone want to know any other final thoughts before we just go off and do other things with our night? Do I have the KTR1 in-house? No, not yet. I talked to Nil about this. We had talked about doing a review unit, but I ended up opting out of that, so that I was like, well, I really want to get, in the end, the plastic version, but the 4GE model, so it has like all the specs. It's the maxed out version, which that one's coming later. He can't get a review unit of that one, but he did give me, sort of offered a discount on that one if I got that instead of doing the review unit. So I should have gone for like a metal review unit off the gate, I know, but we should be getting one of those also that we're purchasing. So we'll have ones as soon as we can. I really want to do coverage on the KTR1. I want to put it up against the 405M. I want to put it up against some of these other handhelds in the same form factor and size, and that'll be exciting. We want to talk about the Pimax Portal more. We should have one of those units on the way finally to talk about. Android is some great things are happening this year. The Aya Neo Android, have you guys seen that? That thing looks awesome. I'm not a Windows guy myself, and so having that form factor with Android is really freaking cool. Are the analogs from the Flip good? Yeah, they're actually really good. I'm impressed by these. I'm a stickler on shoulder buttons, and these are some well implemented stacked shoulders. I had no doubts. I mean, the shoulders were okay on the 2 Plus, and they definitely were improved on the 3 and 3 Plus, but I think these are the best yet. I mean, look here, listen. It's a satisfying depression of the button there. I like this new camera that I've set up. It definitely does some nice bokeh effects, and so you can do some of this like cinematic slow shots of devices. I'm emulating Retro Tech Dad right now. Just nice music with neon lighting, pan shots, maybe get a gimbal out and really go to town. Yeah, I'm a fan though. I'm a fan. Thanks everybody. Oh, Rob, I'm glad you're still watching for my sick burn. No, I love your videos. They're like what I aspire to do one day if I ever got the time for it. But I think live streams are where I've landed, and I like doing these. So stay tuned, more to come. Vote in the next poll on what device you want me to do next. It seems like people wanted this first, and then the Miu Mini Plus, which I have one here. You want to come say bye to my friends? Yeah. Elliot says bye. You want to say bye to my friends? That's right. Oh, you want the Miu Mini Plus? Yeah, so maybe we'll talk about this one next. I haven't even talked about this yet. I was waiting for Onion to come out on it, and now that it has, I have no excuse. So we should load Onion on this. Thanks, Kyle. We should load Onion on this. We should compare it against the 35XX. And there's some new things happening for this. I talked to a dude, Doris, Dragoon Doris, who does Emu Deck. And he's not talking about it yet, but there are things happening. So he's doing some wizardry. Something to do with cross saves. I don't know what all that means yet, but we're going to be talking about that soon. So stay tuned for videos about that. And I think this thing is really cool so far, but I haven't really dived in. I wanted to sort of save myself and my thoughts on it and kind of do it on stream with you guys. So it's really going to be my first impressions. I've barely turned it on beyond just, you know, the stock experience and trying out some simple games. I love the L2 and R2 and the shoulder buttons. This is a cool device. I like this. So let's talk more about it. We'll set it up. And if you want to get some Hot Wheels, these things are pretty cool. So there you go. Thanks for showing this to me, buddy. What? Oh, you want the flip? Is that your... What do you think about the... Is that acceptable? Yeah. Do you like it? We got to get off the stream, though. Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again. He's keeping the flip for good. Take care of your handhelds. All of you fine people out there, and take care of each other. We will see you on the next one. Do take a look at our Patreon program if you are wanting to support the channel. It's in our description. Thanks everyone on this list here. I need to add more people for May and get a new video out. But this has just been a lot of fun hanging out with you all. So I can't wait to do it again. Have a great night. All right, let's end it.